morning, Samantha. I'm Sally.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Sue.
Hi, I'm Rebecca.
Okay. Hi, I'm Samantha and I'm the developer of the beach bar I plan to set up in Canggu in Bali. I understand that there have been some complaints today and this is why we are having a meeting. So this beach bar is not only going to include a bar but a restaurant, dancing platform and live music area featuring our local bands as well. Firstly, I want to ensure you that the doors will be soundproof and the walls will be thickly built to prevent any possible noise pollution. Also, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Wednesday to Sunday, this will be when the music is played. This won't be a very long time frame, so it's like there won't be as much noise as possible. Outside will be bouncers that will be placed to control the people who will create noise or any kind of like loud, rowdy atmospheres. They will make sure that they will pay a $10 fine if they are loud and refuse to quieten down until they get to their vehicle. This will go towards the Bali Regreen, which is a charity that we will associate with to help plant trees and make our community very green. Secondly, tourism is an important sector of the tourism that has a large impact on this country's economy. So according to the newspaper, the Jakarta Post, Indonesia's GDP is 4.1%, which it contributes to, and employs 6.9% of the workforce. Therefore, it's provided much needed jobs of the locals and growth of them too. This is strongly encouraged by the Balinese and also the national government because it makes sure that locals will make money to support their families.
As a resident living here in the development area, I strongly disagree with this suggestion. As you mentioned before, the bands will play the music before 10 p.m. each night. However, for me, I only go to bed before 9 o'clock, so it will dramatically influence my life pattern. According to the International Journal of the Environmental Sciences, it will bring us the prolonged effects because of the concentration of the locals and tourists at the same tourism sites. For me, I don't want to hear any of the noise screams from the crazy tourists, Also, Bali has become more and more commercialized. All the international foods, restaurants, they're all for tourists and nothing for Bali tradition. I want some real Bali tradition.
Okay, well if you think of Bali, what do you think of? For me, I think of the beaches and the relaxed lifestyle. So by setting this bar up under the theme of beach bar, it's supporting the identity of this country very well. And by mixing the cultures, going to this beach bar, they'll be able to make the foreigners get to know the Balinese and vice versa. And by dancing and music, this is a good way to connect to other people. Also, we're only building one precinct in the area so that we don't have to create a lot of destruction over a lot of areas. And also, this is only one beach bar.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with Miss Samantha who just came out with this brilliant idea. I'm also a resident just live in Canggu, which near the developed area. And for me, I think the cultural preservation is a really serious problem Bali is facing. So if the foreign tourists can just come in, it can help us to promote the cultural preservations and the protections. And locals can also keep up when locals can selling their handmade handcrafts, the clothes, also even the street food. It's a good opportunity for us. And also, I don't think commercialized is a bad thing. Since Ms. Samantha mentioned before, Bali is mostly rely on the tourism, so it's a good thing for our economy. What do you say?
Sally, you know nothing about the tourists. You know how many hotel rooms were offered for them in 2015?
Wow.
Over 15,000 hotel rooms offered for them. However, they don't satisfy. They don't satisfy with the hotel rooms. They come over to Bali and purchase the luxury houses. Since 2012, it increased our houses price by 38%. And in 2018, I couldn't even afford my own house.
Well, don't be ridiculous. It's just you. It's not everyone here cannot afford their house. And it's just one bar. It's not separate shops. I don't think it will impact on the price of the property that much. And since I mentioned before that this bar is going to locate it at the largely residential area, which can provide a lot of job opportunities for us. Not even working in the restaurant or the bars. We can do some small business as I mentioned before. So it's a really good thing for us.
Speaking of the benefits, you guys always talking about the benefits, job opportunities provided for locals. As a local, I'm living on my own. I'm living quite good right now. I don't need more jobs. You guys provide it for me, maybe. As well as with the increasing number of the tourists, how can they make sure they don't throw the litters everywhere, and also do they even care about our water quality? how they're gonna destroy our vegetation. I can't imagine that, you know. And water for me is a gift from the goddess of the lakes because I use that to grow my rice paddies. It's important for me to protect our ecosystem.
Yeah, in terms of environmental stuff, I agree with Rebecca's view. As the president of the TOUR2007 Association, I disagree with this bar project. You guys know that the bar will be built over the sand dune areas, which will completely destroy the beach ecosystem. The coastal resources management shows that a commercial structures interferes with wind and sand deposition patterns, affecting the sand movement along the shore. Structures may also display the dune vegetation, like Rebecca mentioned.
Like what I've mentioned about the increasing number of the tourists. You know how many tourists come to Bali actually?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, okay, in 2015, over like 7 million tourists come to Bali. And however, for now, you know, it since 3 years passed by, it should be like at least 10 million tourists come to Bali. Have you watched the news about the Bali's Cup situation? At 10 p.m. in the night, the leading to Legion Street in Bali is still packed with traffic. So full of cars, travelers, and flashing of lights, more car emissions. I don't want the same thing happen in the center of our community. Please, just stop it.
Well, Rebecca, as we all know that Bali is famous for the pure landscapes. But if the tourists come to visit, they don't even have a decent place to hang out or grab a drink on the beach. It's so boring. But if we can just have the beach bar on the beach, it will just help us to it's a great combination of the leisure activities and the natural landscapes. It will be really great. And as Ms. Mesa mentioned before, we'll have some live bands, so we can invite some local artists to have some live music or even the traditional dance. It will be really great even for us to participate in that. Because since the Bali's night is so boring right now, right? And talking about the traffic, Balinese is just use the tuk-tuk and motorcycles for their daily life, which cause a really bad impact for the environment. As we mentioned before, that environment is a really important thing to care about, right? So if the bars can bring us some like new public transportations as a bus, it will benefit us a lot.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys ignored one thing, which is the significance of the sand dune. Yeah, let me draw a picture, then explain that for you. Dunes are a very important part of the beach ecosystem on Canggu, providing a buffer of sand for beach erosion and protecting the beach ecosystem and inlet houses. To conserve our dune areas, we should fence off the main area of dune vegetation instead of building a bar on top of it, which will trigger disasters like storms, like this picture shows, right?
Yeah, did you see that?
Did you see that?
But anyway, our corporate social responsibility will be met to a high standard. So a quarter of our earnings, half yearly, 6 months, we'll be spending it on the charities. So 3 charities we will be focusing on: Bali Regreen, Kimbali, and Reef Check. The first one is going to be focusing on the planting of the trees, which is very important. Kimbali is going to be the reduce, reuse, recycle project and make sure that the plastics will be taken from the beaches and etc. Reef Check is making sure that the reefs are safe and healthy and the water quality is good, and this in term benefits in the long term and outweighing the short term. You know, it outweighs everything that we're going to do to your sand dunes, but in the long term we are going to be helping the environment as a whole, and we're going to make everything else good.
I don't agree with that in terms of the benefit thing. Let's take a look from the long-term view. What I said before, the dune vegetation is important for the natural as well as a human being, right?
Yes.
But what we can see from this bar project, like the benefit from it, it's just short-term benefit for people, but not long-term benefit to our future generations. We inherit the sand dune from our grandparents, and we are supposed to look after it for our grandchildren, right? As Land report emphasized the importance of conserving ecological processes and protecting human heritage. Tourists tend to travel to the underdeveloped places, like having immersion experiences. Therefore, we don't have to build a beach to appeal to visitors. What we should do is just let it sit there and it will become a unique view by itself. You gotta think about which one is more valuable to us. Fun bar or just heritage for our...
Alright, anyway, thank you guys for your opinions. I think we will talk about this in further details some other time. Thank you for sharing your opinions.